So there's a reason rappers aren't buying your beats, and it's a terrifying reason. And I'll tell you why. Because if it were that your beats were bad, all right, whatever, you can improve. If it's that your marketing isn't good, all right, you can learn better marketing. If it's because your prices aren't right, well, you can change the prices. But the reason I'm talking about is terrifying because a lot of it is out of our control, and it's going to take a lot of work for us to fix it. All of us have to work hard on fixing this. So for me, lately especially, when rappers are contacting me and saying, hey, I want these beats, but I can't pay for them, it's because they're saying they're just not generating money off of their music. All right, this has been happening forever. But it does feel as though there's this new hopelessness given the fact that technologies have changed, the way the music industry has changed. It's gone 100% pretty much to streaming revenue. Now that about 30% of all music uploaded daily to the streaming platforms is AI generated, that's a problem because yes, that dilutes the streaming revenue pool. Also, this lawsuit that's happening right now, it's a class action lawsuit that has to do with the mass scale fraudulent streaming scandal, which also dilutes the royalty pool. Of course, they use Drake's face because Drake is just the guy to hate right now, but this is happening on an industry-wide level. It's obviously bigger than one single artist. And so a lot of rappers are looking at that landscape and thinking, damn, it's not just that we're not making money right now, it's that we can't make money right now off the music business because the streaming's fraudulent. The songs are AI generated. We can't keep up with that output. We want to make our art, and we obviously want to make some money off of it so that we can invest in engineering and music videos and graphic design and in beats. So this kind of thing messes up the entire music economy. We're all in this together. So a lot of people say, okay, well, there are still tons of independent artists, unsigned artists making money off of streaming. They're building a community. Everything can be monetized now, from YouTube to every single stream to micro syncs on YouTube to Facebook posts and Instagram posts. You can monetize all of that, and a lot of recording artists are monetizing those platforms. A lot of artists are going back to direct to fan. DIY touring is now making a comeback. Physical merchandise is coming back. There are a lot of reasons why one could argue against the narrative that it's impossible for artists to make money in 2025 going into 2026. But that's not even the terrifying part. When an artist says, hey, I'm not making money off my own music, why would I pay for your beats? Well, that's not how commerce works. We're not even going to get into that. That's just ridiculous. If artists don't understand the music business, especially nowadays with all of this chaos surrounding them, and they're not actively learning how to build their careers, how to properly brand, how to properly monetize their music and content, they're not going to see any progress. They're not going to start seeing money coming in. They're not going to start seeing opportunities coming their way. And therefore, they will become hopeless and not want to buy your beats. Even the smallest things, when an artist gets their first royalty payment, that gives them hope, and then they think, okay, now it's time to invest in better beats and some music videos, etc. The smallest stuff, because producers, we go through the same thing. We buy our first beat and we're like, oh, hey, maybe we have a future in this. I'm going to invest in plugins, or I'm going to finally buy those studio monitors that I've wanted. But if there's a sense of hopelessness, then that's a big problem. And it's stuff like this that really messes things up. I was on Facebook. Someone tagged me in this. Oh, look at me. I'm there. This is absolutely terrifying. I'm not trying to single this person out. This is just what I was tagged in. I see this happen all the time. But this is a person who is a music business professional. When you go to her page, she has written a book. She is also an artist developer. As you can see here, she's asking for money for stuff. Holy shit. I give you the option to start with $100 for 14 days to complete the payment of $350. So she has, I guess, an artist development program, a mentorship program. It's $350. Mine is cheaper than that. I'm not going to lie. If you want to join my Patreon, there is one mentorship slot open, which means you get a coaching call with me on video every single month. Shout out to all the members. I'm going to make this announcement quick, but go to patreon.com/DJPayne1. The link is below. I will have one-on-one consultations with you to actually, and it's not $350. That's for damn sure. And we'll talk about your goals and how I can help with them, resources, SEO, marketing. Some members have had conversations with me about sync licensing. We've talked about publishing deals, all types of stuff. Some people I've helped build their YouTube channels up. So the link is below. But back to what I was saying, this post got quite a bit of attention, 213 shares. There's this list of alarming, scary statements about making money in the music business that should terrify artists, and it terrifies me because it's just not true. Firstly, when your song is on the radio, the only person that gets paid is the songwriter and holder of the ISRC code. No. Getting an ISRC code nowadays is simple. You just get one when you upload your song to a distributor. So why is this even on the list? Number 2, when your song is played on Pandora, the only person that's paid is the artist and the master owner of the copyright. Also not true. This is what Sound Exchange does, a creation of the United States Congress. What they do is they collect those non-interactive royalties from platforms like Pandora and they distribute it to the appropriate rights holders. This is a statutory breakdown, which is just hypothetical, but 50% goes to the sound recording owner, usually the record label. If you're unsigned, that's obviously not applicable. 45% to a featured artist, 5% non-featured performers like session musicians, background vocalists, etc. Producers are included in this. That's why I said this is just kind of a hypothetical scenario here. Again, this is not true. It's not just the main artist and the master owner who gets paid. When your song is played on a podcast, the only person who gets paid is the owner of neighboring rights. Neighboring rights, I don't even think those apply to a podcast. If the podcast gets played on YouTube and someone else's, they play a Drake song, then Universal is going to monetize all the content ID revenue from that podcast, whatever the channel generates. But realistically, if you have a song that a podcast wants to incorporate into their show, then they need to reach out and get permission from you. Maybe they pay you a one-time licensing fee to do that. You have it all written down. I don't know why this is even coming. This is just a weird one. When your song's being played in the club, the only person that gets paid is the one who has MediaBase set up. MediaBase doesn't even pay royalties. No, MediaBase does not directly. I knew this because I worked in radio for 5 years. Clubs absolutely pay royalties. Venues, clubs, etc. are supposed to be paying performing rights organizations these fees, licensing fees, these blanket licensing fees, and then they're supposed to report what's being played in their club. Like if you perform at certain clubs, they'll ask you for a sheet of all I don't know, it's a sheet where you fill in the names of your band, the names of the songs you performed that night, how long you performed them, etc. And then they report that to the PROs, and you're supposed to get paid for public performance. Those are called performance royalties. So a lot of people were calling out the bad information, and her reaction was, every comment that says this is all wrong. I've been registering music for over 10 years. I have 900. This is terrifying. I have a private page for clients only. What I share on here, I don't go into. I don't even know what this is saying, but look, it's terrifying because a lot of artists are going to read this and take, like, again, 213 shares are going to take that at face value, and it's going to be confusing because when they go off and try to do this stuff in real life, it's not going to even work. They can't do this because none of it's real. And then they're going to get frustrated and either give up or get disillusioned, not want to pay for beats, blah, blah, blah. And I hate to say this, producers, but a lot of this falls on us because we are supposed to be learning the music business any damn way to protect ourselves and make sure we're getting paid for our beats. And it's not fair that we need to do this. But unfortunately, a lot of this bad information out there targets artists because artists are easy prey. Sometimes it's scammers. Sometimes it's people who just have bad information. Like this woman, I think she just has bad information. I don't think she's malicious. I think she knows she can make money off of her very limited and maybe incorrect knowledge of the music business. And as long as she's making her money, she's making her money. She doesn't care. So when we know better, we got to do better. And so I would encourage producers to really lean into the music business knowledge. So when a rapper or a singer reaches out to you and is confused about unlimited rights versus exclusive rights, you can explain the benefits of either and give a fair and realistic response. This benefits you too on the short term, not just the long term, where you can add value to your interactions with your beat buyers by giving them this information, because artists have questions all the time. Artists reach out to me all the time and say, yeah, I'm trying to get signed. And I'm like, oh man, you have 10 monthly listeners. Here's what I would advise you to do. And then I give them a content strategy. Or when they say, I don't know how to get paid for my music. Oh, okay. Well, here's this chart that explains it all. Every organization that you need to join is either free, like BMI is free to join. ASCAP was free to join at a certain point. So I sent a link out to that to all of my previous beat customers, and I encourage them to sign up. I've sent out emails about Sound Exchange. That's free to join. I've sent out emails about the MLC to collect mechanical royalties. That's free to join. Unfortunately, the burden falls on us producers to not only learn the music business, but to spread that information to the artists that we want to become our customers and our collaborators, because otherwise, unfortunately, if the rapper's money's fucked up, our money's fucked up. We are in the same economy. It's not us versus them. It's all of us versus the misinformation. It's all of us versus the evils of the music industry. It's all of us versus these companies that want to take advantage of us and benefit from us not knowing shit about the music business. So it's possible. Hopefully that was more encouraging than discouraging. My heat just kicked on, so I'm going to end the video now. I appreciate you watching. Much success to all of you. Peace.